Hey everybody, MichaelBtheGameGenie here. Happy Monday. Of course, guys, like we always say, I have no way to tell what my audio is like, if you guys can hear me clearly, if I'm loud enough. So let me know if you can hear me well. It'd be greatly appreciated. I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. There's so many people here already that I see. Conti, Hollywood Polo, Keon, Glass Babies, Bob Oif. Pull up the actual chat instead of the one on my screen. WKRP in Cincinnati. You were not late, and did you pick up your Attack from Mars afterwards? I haven't got a chance to talk to you. I meant to talk to you about it. I see Zero Hero, Scott Gray, Mono X Boogie 81, Your Average Gamer. Your Average Gamer's been doing some great stuff. I think I'm going to be on a show coming up this Friday, so I'm excited about that. Robo Grump, Adam 12, Todd Cottrell, Daryl Lanson, Mark L. Who else? Sling Spade, Steve B, Mark L. Turn it up. Oh, are you serious? You can't hear me? Right next to the mic. I really hope you can turn me because I'm on maximum volume here. Oh, wow. Gene G, turn up another 20%. I wish I could. I'm right next to the mic and I'm at maximum volume. I wish I could turn it up to 11, but this is as high as I can turn it up. Let me make sure I'm using the right microphone. That might be a good idea. Properties. Yeah, I'm using the Yeti microphone, guys, so if you can't hear me, very sorry. I'm at maximum level. So, guys, we got a lot to talk about, but first off, for those of you who've been... He's kidding. Okay, good. Excellent. I can hear you. I don't even have to turn up my hearing aid. Thank you so much, John Garcia. Chris Zeke, I see you in the chat. Thank you so much. Steve B, thank you. John Garcia, yeah. Okay, here we go. So, elephant in the room, I came up with this stupid idea that I was actually going to move out of my game room, which I have decorated, I have my lighting, and I love my arcade, but I'm out of room. So I stupidly came up with the idea that I was going to move stuff into there, and I'm not talking about, like, little stuff. Like, I'm talking, like, I moved a giant workout, like, not a weight bench, but, like, a workout machine, one with a leg press and arm press and, like, 300 pounds of weight. I moved that into my arcade, and I had to make room in two different rooms that I was going to put my arcades in. And I measured, and everything... Need a mic stand, better idea, turn down opening music levels by 20%. Okay, yeah, I could do that. That's not a bad idea. So, I came up with this stupid idea. I was going to move this stuff, and I measured, and I was like, yeah, this is going to make sense. I got 2 rooms now. I'm going to have enough room to move all my arcades out there, plus I'm going to be able to bring in new arcades. I'm going to be able to move my AtGames Legends Ultimate, my arcade back downstairs, and even when my AtGames Legends Pinball gets here, plus I can probably go pick up. I was looking at, there's one here in the city right now I can pick up right away. Big Buck Hunter. I didn't even want Big Buck Hunter, but FOMO, right? So anyways, I started moving everything. I moved all the heavy stuff. I moved everything out, and I was looking at it today. My wife always said the whole time, this is a dumb idea. You're not going to like it. Yeah, Daryl, my wife told me it wouldn't work, and she was 100% right, but I had to move everything so I could start sorting it to make sure, and yeah, she was right, it didn't work, so I'm in the process right now of actually moving everything back to the other room. I should have everything back up and running tomorrow, but the cool thing is, it did force me to kind of clean out a lot of the area, and what I am going to do is the room that I tried to move all my cabs into now, I got a bunch of stuff moved out, so that's actually going to become an overflow arcade where I can put some of this stuff. So I get to move my AtGames Legends Ultimate, my arcade back downstairs, and my Legends Pinball is going to go there. So I will have extra room. It's just it won't be all in one space, and that's fine. And I get to move back to my arcade, so I don't need to buy a pile of lighting and try to get fixed up again. And I really like that space. So yeah, I've been so busy the last couple days, and as much as it sucks, whatever. I'm gonna move back. I might still get Big Buck Hunter. I'm on the fence about it because it's here, it's available, and I also know that Big Buck Hunter, at least in Canada, is gonna go up in price as of April 1st. So I've got to make up my mind if I'm gonna buy it either tomorrow or the next day. Do I want Big Buck Hunter? I see a lot of people saying they want the Big Buck Cab, so you still get a concession from your wife. Be happy about that. That's true. Yeah. Life revolving around arcades. I love it. Well, there's a lot worse things going on in the world. This has been a good distraction for me. Hopefully, it's been a good distraction for a lot of other people, too. Mike Denny, how's it going? Thanks for joining. So, we got 2 fun things to talk about. Big Buck Hunter is great. The Sin and Light Guns are very accurate. Garage Gamer says, don't get it. Todd Cottrell says, do it. Yeah. Garage Gamer is speaking some truth because there's a bunch of games coming out. Ooh. Oh, watching Michael B.Y. assembling my Outrun. I'm really jealous of that 9 Scorpions. I wish we had stand-up Outrun here. I do have a little bit of an update. There's nothing positive now. I told you that all along. I've heard from Arcade1Up that we're not getting stand-up Outrun here in Canada. However, there's a glimmer of hope. A little glimmer of hope. I was talking to somebody who said they are trying to work on Arcade1Up, bringing the stand-up to Canada. So I'm back in that undecided phase if I'm going to pick up the sit-down, because there's a chance. There's an outside chance we might be getting the stand-up Outrun. So, got to think about it. All right, so we've got 2 fun topics to talk about tonight. We've got partnerships and we've got replacement parts. So I guess we'll talk about the partnerships first. And the thing is, what is the deal with these partnerships? I mean, where are they coming from? Who are these partnerships for? We've seen it a lot of times, and it's so funny because Arcade1Up is so excited, and they'll announce like Supreme Mortal Kombat, and it doesn't resonate with a lot of us because a lot of us are 40 years old. I mean, we're really old. This doesn't make sense to us. So, who are these partnerships for? Then, of course, we see the Dimmak Street Fighter 2 Countercade. You also see now Chinatown Market NBA Jam is actually coming out. Let me get I didn't make any notes tonight, so this could go off the rails really, really, really quickly. But I actually forwarded it on Twitter so I would remember. That's how dedicated and competent I am at this. Don't trust me. All right, so, yeah, there we go. So, the Chinatown Market NBA Jam is going to go live this weekend at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, no, that was actually 2 days ago that happened, so never mind. I got distracted. So, yeah, that was Saturday that NBA Jam, actually Chinatown Market, came out just this weekend. I don't know if it was a limited release or not, but I wanted to ask you guys. So, what do you guys think of these partnerships? Now, have your fair say. Let me know what you think of the partnerships, what you think of Mortal Kombat Supreme, Dimmak, Street Fighter 2 Countercade. Let me know what you think of the Chinatown Market NBA Jam, the Pizza Hut Pac-Man. What do you guys think of these partnership cabs? Did the Chinatown Market cab sell out? I'm not 100% sure. Steven Swanson says, I ordered mine. I like being different. I actually saw that, Steven Swanson. Cocktail Pac-Man and kept it more like the original with a Pizza Hut logo somewhere. Yeah. So, here's the thing. I think this partnership is a really good idea. But it's not for me. Okay. More press getting their name out there. Todd Cottrell has actually got the right of this. The thing is, we've got an amazing community. There's 20,000 strong of us almost in the Arcade1Up community fan page, global fan page. But the thing is, we're mostly older people that are interested in reliving our heyday. There's a big nostalgia factor to us buying these arcades. So how does Arcade1Up reach out to a different market? Not all of us are, 40-year-old men like me with gray in our beards. So there are some younger people that maybe have different interests than we do. And of course, I'm not familiar at all with Supreme, Chinatown Market, Dimmak. All that stuff went completely over my head, and I didn't understand it. But there are some people out there that probably wouldn't touch Arcade1Up or wouldn't be interested in it, but all of a sudden that partnership makes a bigger deal, and it grows the brand. And why I say, which helps them make sales. Why I say that's a good thing. The more of these cabs they sell and the more the reach goes out there, hopefully the more and more we're going to get bizarre cabs. I say the same thing about Pac-Man. People are always like, why did they sell so many Pac-Man cabs? Because Pac-Man sells. People will go into a store, see Pac-Man, and buy it. It becomes a cash cow that allows them to fund weird and wild stuff like a Dragon's Lair cab. And then not only a Dragon's Lair cab, but we actually get a Space Age version too, possibly. And that's all thanks to Pac-Man moving the whole line along for the rest of us so we can get our fun stuff, like maybe a Smash TV or a Robotron cab. So, very cool. Rexer, I see you in the chat there. I'd order the Pizza Hut 1-Up if they made one of those. Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs. I saw my good friend Steve Victoria earlier in the chat. He had a really cool idea. Like, that Pizza Hut Arcade 1-Up, I don't know if that's going to be for sale or if that's part of a contest. Like, me personally, I don't really love the art on that. There's nothing that appeals to me about that cabinet because in no way does that look like an original arcade or do I find it interesting. But if there was some kind of cocktail table that looked exactly like an old, like Steve Victoria said, exactly like an old Pac-Man cocktail cabinet cocktail table that you would see in a Pizza Hut with maybe some Pizza Hut branding on it, that's a huge partnership that I would be all over. But this one, the art, it doesn't speak to me. Same with all these. Like the Mortal Kombat Supreme, it's a little bit more closer to the original art. But can you imagine riding the God of Thunder with Supreme right down his chest? I don't know. It's part of a contest. That's right, Zero Hero. You're not even buying it. But this show's not all about me. I'm mainly doing this because I want to talk to you, so you guys let me know. What do you think of the partnerships? Is Chinatown Market a restaurant or a grocery store? Jester, I can't tell you. I don't know. I still don't know what it is. Again, I'm 40. I live a very sheltered life. I haven't followed popular media outside of, superheroes and Star Wars in probably about 10 years. What are your thoughts on Golden Axe being sold again at the Arcade? I know you need this. Oh, Weekend Game Guy, you really didn't have to do that. Thank you so much, Chris. Man, you're a good guy. You didn't have to do that, brother. What are your thoughts on Golden Axe being sold again at the Arcade 1-Up website, but now at $4.99 plus shipping and taxes, $600 US for me? So frustrating that they sold them at $3.99 originally. Yes. I got news for you guys. Cool Toy's been saying this for a while, and I don't think people really picked up on it. Cool Toy is, awesome guy. Also, he's in with Arcade 1-Up. He's an influencer for them. And he's been dropping hints that prices are going to go up. $4.99 is going to be the new price point. So we know that $3.99 has been the price point for the longest time. It was for the Arcade 1-Up Golden Axe when it originally came out. So what you're getting for that is you're getting the standard cabinet with standard controls, with a riser, and with a light-up marquee and the deck protector for $3.99. That price point is now going to jump to $4.99 US. So from now on, whenever you buy a standard cabinet with the standard riser and light-up marquee, $4.99. You know that usually the $4.99 model comes with the stool. Now that's probably going to go up even more. That's the truth. So if you're wondering why Golden Axe went up, it's because the price of all the cabs are going up. Everything going forward is the standard price. If you want to buy it with a riser and a light-up marquee, it's going to be $4.99. It's just the cost of business. Chinatown Market is a clothing line. Yeah. I still don't know what Supreme is. Go to $4.99. If I don't have to replace buttons and joysticks, that'd be fine. Do you think we can handle 2-player control decks on the Tetris cab in the future? Are you talking about the Games Legends Mini? I don't know. Games are very conscientious about space, and they try not to, push you in any direction. So I did want to go back for a second. Yeah, I know, Conti, $4.99 AC, but it is the way it is. My good friend Weekend Game Guy dropped me a super chat. Guys, Weekend Game Guy has been YouTubing as long as I have. He's taken a break recently. He is getting started up again, and he's streaming on Twitch. So if you like taking a look at guys on Twitch streaming fun games and stuff like that, go check out Weekend Game Guy on Twitch. It would mean the world to me. I really appreciate it. And I'll stop hitting my mic if you do. Supreme takes everything they can get and adds Supreme to it, basically. Yeah, I don't know what Supreme is. I don't. But I know our good friend Bobby Vu. I think Bobby Vu has a Supreme Mortal Kombat cab, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'd like Bosconian on a cab. Like the game Bosconian? Yeah, I want a Sega Columns cab. Sega Columns, that's nuts. Okay, so yeah, going back to the branding. I think it's fine. So what's with the partnerships? We want crunchy. We want crunchy. Thanks, Mr. Dude 206. It's not a big deal. They're not for everybody. I'm not going to... oh, you're welcome, Weekend Game Guy. You deserve it, brother. So it's not for everybody. I get it when I see it. Are you going to play in B's online fighting tournament? Yeah, I'm going to have to take a look at it. Thank you so much, Mono X Boogie 81. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't mind the higher price point since I'm being more selective anyways. Yeah, well, that's the other thing, too. I mean, we all... Zohar wasn't very happy about the Supreme Mortal Kombat. Zohar was really disappointed. I felt so bad because Zohar had been waiting so patiently for them to come out with a new Mortal Kombat, and he asked over and over again. He wanted a Mortal Kombat with the Mortal Kombat 1 artwork on the side, but unfortunately we're never going to get that because there's a huge dispute between Daniel Pesina, Master Daniel Pesina, and is it Midway or is it like that company? Anyways, we'll never see a Mortal Kombat 1 design cab unless he gets paid for his likeness being on the cab. So it's probably never going to happen. So we're probably never going to get a Mortal Kombat 1 cab. But he just wanted a premium version of Mortal Kombat. And then we got kind of a more premium version of Mortal Kombat, but it was the Supreme cab. So honestly, for somebody that's very passionate about Mortal Kombat and passionate about recreating that arcade experience in the home, Supreme cab is kind of off in a completely different direction. So it kind of felt like salt in the wounds, didn't it, Zohar? Sam Newsman, we will talk about that as well. The legacy cabs, remind me to bring that back up a little bit later. Someone else, Steve Swanson, huge Arcade1Up fan. Bob Boy, thank you so very much, man. You didn't have to do that. Wife is by me. Help her understand why I need Marvel vs. Capcom. Question, if you need Marvel vs. Capcom, do you already have X-Men vs. Street Fighter? That's what I need to know first, Bob. So let me know, do you already have X-Men vs. Street Fighter? Then we can go from there and I'll tell you why you need Marvel vs. Capcom. So, Steven Swanson, you said that you ordered the Chinatown Market NBA Jam, and you also have the Dimmak Street Fighter 2, what are they called? Countercade. So, they only made like 30 of those Dimmak Countercades, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll never forget, I was on Twitter and I was watching, and John D posted, he's like, "Oop, got mine." I was like, wow, did you have inside info or something? But so I know John D got one of them. He was very excited about him. I didn't know who Dimmak was at all, and I looked him up and I was like, is he a Pokemon card collector? Zohar, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so very much. Yeah, I know. It was salt in the wounds for you. And I would imagine you kind of feel the same way about the Legacy cab, but I'm telling you, just be patient. I don't think we're going to get Mortal Kombat 1 branding on it, but I'm telling you, they will eventually make a live Mortal Kombat cab, and when they do, I think you're going to get the right slant, right design, and it's going to hit that sweet spot for you. I don't think it'll be this year, but just wait till next year. There's definitely going to be a Mortal Kombat cab coming in the future that I think is going to make you very happy. Now, Bob, you have the Marvel cab, but you don't have the X-Men vs. Street Fighter. So, Bob, if that's the case, the big difference with this one, with the Marvel vs. Capcom, is that all the games on it have Wi-Fi connectivity. So it's not just like you have another Marvel arcade game in your house. You have a Marvel arcade game with pretty much where you already have that Marvel cab. You have And now with this one, you have every single Marvel arcade fighting game all in those 2 cabs, pretty much. So now you can play every single one. That's the first thing. So it's basically the whole collection of Marvel fighting games. Second part is now you're connected with Wi-Fi, and you can play fools like me if you want to play in X-Men vs. Street Fighter or Marvel vs. Capcom Online. But it also lets you play Marvel Superheroes and Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter Online. Don't tell her about the Super Nintendo games. I don't think that will help you. Yeah, 2022 will be better, Zohar. I think you're in the right area. Mortal Flanbat. That's what we actually need. Do an Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 Wi-Fi Special Edition. You know, that was something I was really surprised by. When I saw the Legacy cab, I was surprised they went again with the Mortal Kombat 2 artwork. I mean, it's the best Mortal Kombat artwork. Sorry, Zohar, I know, but it's my favorite, and I think it's the best. I don't even remember the Mortal Kombat 3 artwork. I've seen it a couple times, but it's not memorable to me. It doesn't stand out like Mortal Kombat 2 did. But I expected maybe they would be coming out. Are there any quirks with the game that need to be addressed with a firmware update? Which game are you talking about, Meatball? I don't know which one you're talking about, Meatball. Marvel vs. Capcom has the best side art out of them all. Well, it depends on what you want. It has some really, really cool side artwork. But if you're the kind of person that wants to see, recreations of classic arcade cabinets, you have to remember that Marvel vs. Capcom was completely a conversion cabinet. So they just took whatever cabinet was around and stuck Marvel vs. Capcom in it. It might have been Street Fighter. It might have been another Marvel cab previously. So it didn't really have side artwork, so they invented their own. But X-Men vs. Street Fighter took the little square, like you know how the Capcom Legacy cabinet now, we got the little square for Street Fighter. And, what X-Men vs. Street Fighter had was the same little square, except it was the side art that we got now. They just took it and expanded it to fit the whole cab, and it looks beautiful. I mean, red on the side looks amazing. All right, so really quickly, let's talk about some of these Legacy cab reviews. 100 points, Mike. MK1 artwork is fire. MK1 artwork is fire. I completely agree. So there's a lot of issues coming out with the Legacy cabs that people are talking about. The one I'm really concerned about is I'm 5'11", so I know P-Dub's Arcade Loft. We playing darts in here. P-Dub's, excellent timing. No, I didn't get my game room back together, Jason. We'll come into that. I'm probably going to be another couple days before I get it back together. It's that bad. So P-Dubs said in his review, and also, I don't know if Fishbee said in his review. I watched Fishbee's review on Street Fighter 2 today. I also watched Gem Mint Collectibles' review on the Street Fighter 2 Legacy cab, and they all kind of said the same thing, that there's a line of sight issue. Hey, Michael, big fan from Chicago. I got an Arcade1Up last summer. Now I get 6 cab. Need for space. I really want an Arcade1Up version of Tron. I do not blame you, Ezekiel Fuentes Jr., and thank you so much for the super chat. You gotta... I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. You don't have to do that, guys, but I really, really appreciate it. So going back to that, there's a line of sight issue, and I asked P-Dubs, and at first he told me it was just the angle, but it looks like that marquee is actually like a inch down compared to the traditional marquees. So I don't know why they did that. I don't know, the more I look at it with the original design, if they use the wings and move the marquee all the way up to the top, I don't know if that would have made any difference, but definitely the fact that the screen is more vertical and the marquee is an inch lower is definitely a regressive step, and it really confuses me. Now, of course, if you... Oh, yeah, that's right. You posted a pic and you told us about it privately. So if I've ruined your review, I apologize. But I'm getting off track here. I think these are more designed for smaller people or to play on stools. I like playing fighting games standing up, so yeah, that's 6'2", you're blind. No merch plug. No, there is merch plugs. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about Nostalgia's Teespring store. If you head there, you can check out all our very own Super Game Room Dudes merchandise. You can get all the shirts, even individual shirts from the Super Game Room Dudes, such as the MichaelBtheGameGenie shirt, where you can see me beating up P-Dubs. Anyways, Super Game Room Dudes merch, Nostalgia's Teespring store, it's fantastic. Do I have permission to share this on the MK fan page? Absolutely, Zohar. You can absolutely share this, man. You don't need my permission. Go ahead. And thank you again for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Dylan J, how are you? Brad O'Connell, I forgot to mention you earlier. Brad's always here. Thank you so much, Brad. Oh, the other thing is people are concerned about the sharp edges where your hands sit on the control panel. And Fishbee brought it up in his review. I didn't even think about this, but what he mentioned was the more you rub off that, you might actually rub off some of the side artwork. So, yeah, I don't know. I love the physical design of the new cabinets. I think they look incredible, the legacy cabinets for Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, but some of these things that people are putting up there concern me a little bit. Again, I don't have mine yet. I'm trying to figure out how I can get it quicker here in Canada, but I don't have it yet, and I got to try it for myself before I say too much more about it. I see the other issues people are noting, but I can't comment much more until I try it myself. Hopefully, it's a good experience, because I do plan on selling my Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Final Fight, and Rampage to accommodate these new cabinets. That's part of my space plan, to make more space in my room too. Yeah, and I haven't heard that from other people, Brad, but Gem Mint said he really didn't like the buttons. Now, I don't know where we stand on that, because P-Dubs always says that when he presses the buttons, he doesn't like how mushy the Arcade1Up buttons are. But yet Gem Mint said these buttons are too hard, so I don't know. I'm going to have to take a no wings, no slant. Deck height is a little lower. Yeah, I got to try them for myself. Anyways, we'll probably come back to these legacy cabs a lot more. So the partnerships, I think they're a good thing. I just think it's a hard press to some of us, classic arcade enthusiasts, because it doesn't really necessarily catch a lot of us in the sweet spot of our nostalgia and why we're so into these programs. Do you think used cabinets should be priced? We are ordering MVC Wednesday. Thanks all. It takes a team. Yeah, Bob! Thank you again for the super chat, and that's the coolest. I get so excited when other people buy Arcade1Ups. You have no idea. Are you getting the Killer Instinct arcade? I'd say that's a big yes. Definitely going to get that. I don't know where B's tonight. I don't know. He's probably a little bit busy. I can mod the marquee correctly on Tempest. Yeah, the Tempest marquee isn't sloped like the cab is. What is your gut feeling, Michael? Robotron Smash TV in 2021 or 2022? Thank you so much for the super chat, Sling Spade. My gut feeling is we are getting a Smash TV this year. That's my gut feeling. They talked about it a lot, and a lot of people have talked about it. So I'd be very surprised if we don't get it this year. They're pirate buttons, too hard. So, P-Dubs, I don't know if you're still here in the chat, but if you are, do you find there's a difference in the buttons on your Mortal Kombat Legacy? Watch many reviews on the Legacy cabs, and the shortness and placement of the marquee covering the top of the screen makes me nervous. Me too, Steve. Like I said, I stand up to play my fighting games, so... 8-Bit Brian, I swore I wasn't going to get that Pac-Man Legacy cabs. I swore I wasn't going to get that Pac-Man Legacy cab, but I'm looking at it now. I don't believe we're going to get a firmware update for the Pac-Man 40th cab to take away the filter on it. They've mentioned it a couple times, but I don't think it's coming. So I might look at selling my Pac-Man 40th. And it sucks too, because it's such a nice looking cab, that wood grain on the side. But the Legacy cab, it's more arcade accurate. It's got the yellow sides, plus same buttons, same sticks, although they added a stronger spring to the sticks on the Legacy. Stronger spring's a good thing. Okay, so I don't need to be worried about the buttons. Thanks, P-Dubs. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm thinking, yeah, There's B. Thank you so much, Kongzaros. We were worried about you. Everybody was asking for you in the chat. Yeah, so I might end up getting Pac-Man 2. We'll see. Yeah, so on to the next, unless anybody else has anything else to say about the partnerships. Again, partnerships, really good thing for Arcade1Up. Really cool that they get these doing. Hopefully it brings a ton of new people and interest into the hobby, so Arcade1Up gets more money and makes more cool, crazy cabs, like Robotron. Come on, Arcade1Up. All right, so moving on to the second mystery, and this is probably the really, really, really most frustrating one for me. Where's the replacement parts? I mean, I know we're in a pandemic, and I know that right now getting merchandise is so hard. But, like, it's been over a year. Like, I've had Notify Me on stuff for well over 8 months now. And, I always joke that the Notify Me button doesn't work, but it has nothing to do with that. It's just they're not getting the stock back in. So my question on this is there more stock coming back in? Will replacement parts become more of they're willing to fix things, and as some of the older waves go out and those warranty periods go out, are they going to stop stocking some of the replacement parts? Because a lot of us went into this hobby and we looked at it and we said, this is great that they have an online store. So if anything ever breaks, anything ever goes wrong, I can always just fix up my old cabs. But now, with them not restocking some of the stuff, I don't know if it's pandemic related, I'm starting to wonder. And it didn't really hit until I started to see the legacy cabs coming out that maybe now that they have legacy cabs coming out, maybe they don't need to restock things. Big one for me that I'm very, 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 very excited about, of course, I've made, must be 75 videos on YouTube, was about the light-up marquees. So the light-up marquees were going to be available through the store, and we got lucky. We got that initial wave. I was one of the lucky people that got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles light-up marquee. I also went out and got Mortal Kombat and a Street Fighter marquee, and of course I'm selling those cabs now, so maybe I didn't need to, but I got 3 of those marquees, and I've been patiently waiting because I didn't get I couldn't here in Canada. Well, I could have ordered directly from Arcade1Up, but I could not get the, what is it called? The special edition Marvel Superheroes. So I just bought the standard Marvel Superheroes with the included riser, and I've been patiently waiting to get a marquee for my Marvel Superheroes cap because I intend on keeping that one, and I want the light up marquee for it, and also Centipede. I'm not going to get rid of my Centipede Centipede cabinet, so they offered this replacement marquee, and I've had Notify Me on from the very beginning, and I'm still waiting. We all know the story. John D mentioned it. When that container went down, they mentioned, guys, nothing to worry about. There were some outruns on there and replacement parts. So replacement parts are in the ocean. You guys noticed I put it in the thumbnail for this video. So yes, the replacement parts are in the ocean. But does that mean they're not going to make any more of those replacement parts? Are they still coming? What do you guys think? Are replacement parts still coming? Did the Notify Me buttons work? I went on a big tangent there, talked everything about worrying about where replacement parts are going to be, all that stuff. So let me know, guys. What do you think? Do you think replacement parts are ever coming back? Michael B., ever think of doing a gaming podcast? Absolutely, Zohar. I don't understand how they don't restock very simple things like plexi for the control panel. It's so simple. Yeah, like when I bought my Centipede cab, I was so excited because I was like, oh, well, the Centipede plexiglass protector is available just right there on Arcade1Up, and I went in to get it, and it's been sold out. It's never been restocked, and I got my Centipede cabinet back in September, and I've been patiently waiting. Nothing came up. Luckily, a community member by the name of Robert Mason hooked me up. He had a second Centipede plexiglass deck protector, and he sent that over to me. Awesome guy. When I think marquee, I just think of Angel Otero. Yes, I know that. And everybody who likes the third-party marquees, 100%. Angel does some amazing work. Also, Arcade Game Factory. There's also a guy here in Canada, and I bought marquees off him, and he does amazing work too. And I can't remember anybody there from Canada in the chat. If you want to throw it up there, oh man, I should know. Hold on. Anyways, there's a Canadian marquee, aftermarket marquee, and that's awesome. They're really good. But I've talked about it a bunch of times. I'm OCD. I want the first-party marquee because it matches all the rest of my marquees. And even though I have a Rampage third-party marquee and a Final Fight third-party marquee, 2 other cabs I'm selling, every time I look at them, they're great, but I know they don't match the other ones. Zohar, I can't answer that question because I said it on the last one. I actually do know what Arcade1Up is coming out with this year. Well, I think so. I think I got a leak, so I can't say anything. Elaine Turcotte, that's right. So thank you very much. Elaine, he makes the Canadian equivalent of the aftermarket marquees here in Canada, and they're incredible. Like, they're really a work of art. So, yeah. So, yeah, where are the replacement parts? They're at the bottom of the ocean. Are any more coming? Guys, let me know. What do you think? Are there any more replacement parts coming out? Does the notify me button work? That's what I want to know from you guys. Look, all the Canadian friends here. They're all jumping. Elaine Turcotte. Oh, Zohar, you don't got to be sorry about anything. Why are you sorry? Oh, yeah. You don't need to be sorry about that, brother. Where's my Frogger Countercade at? I'm finally interested in picking one up, and I can't find it anywhere. Yes. So, Meatball Saucy asked a question. Do you ever think we will get Silver Strike? No. I think that there is another Golden Tee cabinet coming out. I don't think it's this year, but I think in the future they're going to release another Golden Tee that's going to be combined with a bowling game, and that bowling game is going to be world-class bowling. And that is what John D has said a couple times on the 1UP Weekly, so I think that's where it's going to go. Remember the Rampage deck protector for Tasca. Oh. Yeah, so the problem with the Rampage deck protector, someone explained it to me. Carl here in the chat, I think. Carl Carl, I apologize. Carl L here in the chat. Just 1 second, guys. I know you should never do this, but I want to make sure. That's why. I'm in the wrong profile. There we go. Carl LaFontaine. I should remember that because I was a huge Pat LaFontaine fan. Carl LaFontaine here in the chat. He actually sent me my Rampage deck protector because I couldn't get one. I bought a Rampage secondhand, didn't have a deck protector with it, and Carl was kind enough to reach out to me and he said, listen, I got an extra deck protector here. You can just have it. It's cracked on the side, but it'll still work. It's just a little bit cracked. And I was like, thank you so much, Carl. So what Carl said was, I just need to know what model you have. And the problem was they made 2 Rampage decks, so you, depending on which model of the cab you bought, you had to get the deck protector to match that, and that's the big problem with the Rampage deck protectors. So there's 2 different versions. So what would happen is you would reach out and you'd say, I need a deck protector. They would send LaFontaine. Thank you, Carl. I'm very sorry, brother. They would send you out a deck protector, and that's why they have the button issue there now, where they actually tell you that before you order your deck protector or before you put it I can't tell you how I came across the leak. I can't. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm going to wait until it comes out. And because that's Arcade1Up's business to tell everybody. Unique controls and cabs are the only way I'll consider Arcade1Ups, as well as Kong's Twin Sticks or Flight or something. Yeah, so I really like that too. Star Wars is the big one that got me into that, and that's what directed me to Centipede too. I like the idea of having cabs that have unique controls. Centipede has the trackball. Star Wars has the... Is the leak an MK countercard? Blink once for yes, twice for no. No one will know. Zohar, I can't say anything. My pleasure, brother. Rampage had 2 versions, and Carl's the one that enlightened me to this. I also had somebody else at the time. I'm not sure. I think it might have been. I don't know if it's. There was another guy that had a Rampage deck protector, and he was willing to sell it to me. But I told him what Carl had told me as well about. Brad, Centipede definitely has cool iconic art. So I can't tell. I was trying to explain to him the 2 different versions, and he was like, yeah, get a measuring tape out and just send me the requirements. And I was like, obviously from the game room fiasco I just went through, I don't know how to use a measuring tape, so Yeah, P-Dubs loves Centipede. Why does P-Dubs not love Centipede? Is the Marvel vs. Capcom cabinet a good cabinet? It's a fantastic cabinet, P-Dubs. And we have to arrange when you get set up. When you get it set up, P-Dubs, we have to arrange, we're going to do an online fight, me and you. It's the Genie versus P-Dubs, one-on-one in X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom. We'll do it. I actually had CPU issues with my stream. Guys, tell me. I passed on the Golden T-Cab. Yes, I did pass on the Golden T-Cab that was here, that was available. Not because I didn't want it. It's an amazing, amazing cabinet, and to have it available. But I do know that eventually there's another Golden T coming out that's probably going to have world-class bowling on it. The only thing I'm worried about, I actually didn't like the multiple art. Like, so on the Golden T Silver Strike, they had that half and half art, and that didn't appeal to me. I would rather, like, everybody's also saying, oh, we can get a, anniversary Pac-Man that'll have Pac-Man and Galaga art, like the cab that Ralph has in his game room, and everybody saw around for all that time. Yes! Marvel vs. Capcom. Michael B. and Pete. Kongs R Us. Yes. I've had it. I go online, get my money killed. I love the classics, but Centipede. How can you not like Centipede? I love Centipede. Yes, Champi, if there's a Marvel vs. Capcom at your Best Buy, go get it. Listen, I already have X-Men vs. Street Fighter. We have a pre-order here in Canada right now where I can get Marvel vs. Capcom. Even though I already have X-Men vs. Street Fighter, I'm thinking about getting it too because I can play online Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Like, it's completely ridiculous. I don't need this cabinet, but I can't help myself. I'm thinking about it. I know, I can't believe I passed on Golden Tee, but I'm also trying to be smart about my money. Of course, then I mentioned that I might buy Big Buck Hunter tomorrow. We'll see. Yes, Bob, you can absolutely get on this. We should set this up in the near future. Well, B-Kong, you're having a tournament right now. I'm going to go and check B-Kong's tournament and see how this goes, but we should also set up... There's a community right now for X-Men vs. Street Fighter. We should all get connected on that. I'll give away a giant Pac-Man joystick. Oh, get ready, guys. He's going to be giving away a giant Pac-Man joystick. I might not be able to beat him Marvel vs. Capcom. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, I might stand a chance. I'm pretty good at that. We'll see. We will see. Does the new Marvel vs. Capcom have Samurai equipment, or was it the special one they sold online only? None of the Marvel vs. Capcoms have Samurai equipment. It's the standard Arcade1Up. I'm close on pulling the trigger on Marvel vs. Capcom. I mean, everybody is. Also, it's the only one that I've seen sold in Canada out the gate, because you can get them now. You can get an NBA Jam and a Frogger like it too, but it also comes with the stool here in Canada, so it's $6.99 in Canada for that option. Yes, that's what I'm thinking about doing. If I get a Golden T-Cab, I'm probably going to hold out for the one with world-class bowling on it too, as long as the art is pretty good. We'll see. Got an X-Men vs. Street Fighter here at Best Buy, but not a fan of the art on the side panels. Really like the Marvel vs. Capcom side art, though. Oh, Steve, you're killing me. I actually prefer the side art on X-Men vs. Street Fighter, because it's actual arcade side work. It has the square, and then it's been stretched to go on the side. B will host us playing X-Men vs. Street Fighter. I got a great commentary. That's awesome. Marvel cabinet, maybe. Pac-Man, since they came out, never seen any other games for over a year and a half. Yeah, that's the thing. And I know Arcade1Up's been trying to do that. Arcade1Up has been openly trying to stop those fire sales we see every year, and it's not because they don't want people to get deals. It has nothing to do with that, but it brings down the value of the product. I mean, they're putting out a product that they're very happy with, that they have a price point in mind, but then all of a sudden, when they've got to do stuff like they're doing now, like they're selling Golden Axe for $4.99, everybody goes back and thinks of the $50 fire sale last summer and says, oh, that's too much for an Arcade1Up, and you don't buy it new. So that's why, like, they've reduced some of the stock that was coming out this year. They're not putting as much in the stores as they used to, and they're making you mail it away, because they're just trying to make sure their products are being valued at the point You killed it right there with the art being stretched. It's not stretched. That's not the right term. I don't know how to say it. Anyways, I love the side artwork on it. Like, it's X-Men vs. Street Fighter looks fantastic. What really should focus you on is the game lineup, because you got to decide which game lineup you like most. I like the X-Men vs. Street Fighter game lineup because it was available. It was available to me then. But the Marvel vs. Capcom lineup is probably a little bit better. The only difference is you don't have an online version of X-Men Children of the Atom. So, but you get Marvel Superheroes, which is an incredible game online, and Marvel Superheroes versus Capcom. Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. So, excuse me, guys. Coffee caught me the wrong way. Kongzaros, I'll ask you this since you're here in the chat. Carl, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate that. Before I forget, I'll go back to this. Kongs, I'm thinking about getting Big Buck Hunter. So, I'm thinking about getting Big Buck Hunter. Before you did your mod, did you like Big Buck Hunter? Did your family enjoy it before you did the mod and everything else? What about the Konami cab? Which Konami cab are you talking about? Are you talking about possible Simpsons cab? Because, I don't know for a fact, but if we do get a Simpsons cab, the guys on... hey, Chris Roberts! How's it going, man? Me and Chris go way back. I actually sold Chris my Donkey Kong Math control manual. Chris has every single NES game, and he also has the world's largest collection of Super Mario Duck Hunt cartridges as well. Ooh, Big Buck. So is that a good thing? Like, is Big Buck fun? Like, fun without doing the mods. Can you get it? Al, it's too small for you, Michael B. Big Buck Hunter's too small for me? Marvel vs. Street Fighter was just a jazzed up X-Men vs. Street Fighter with Marvel Superhero. Wasn't that great? Ooh. Oh, that's okay, Carl. You just got to tell me which Konami cab you're talking about. Is it like a Konami cab? I know, Brad. Yeah, I've not played it much in the arcade, but the gameplay and replay value for Big Buck is top notch. That's what I wanted to hear, and that's why I'm probably going to end up going to the store tomorrow. I'm in trouble. Excellent. Never understood the appeal of Big Buck Hunter. Personally holding out for a Time Crisis at House of the Dead cab. Yes. But I'm also getting my mind around the idea of picking up cabs and then selling them if I don't like them. So I could buy Big Buck and then, eventually, if I'm just not interested in it anymore, gone. And I can replace it with another shooting cab. And like I mentioned earlier, you may just want to do a few things to make the experience better. Raise the cab higher or bigger screen. I know. I love Big Buck. Wife loves it. I know. See, WKRP in Cincinnati, the problem with Big Buck is I know the price is going up as of April 1st. There's also one just sitting at my Best Buy I can just go and buy. If it wasn't for that, I would not be interested. Cabs are like hookups. This is going to be more, Big Buck I think it'll be more of a short-term rental depending on how much I like it. So, as for a Konami cab, just going back, Carl, I don't know anything about a Konami cab. I was under the impression that if we got a Simpsons cab, it would be like an ultimate Simpsons like beat 'em up cabinet. So I was hoping we'd get Simpsons, and then there'd also be Sunset Riders on it. Maybe Cowboys of Moo Mesa, maybe Bucky O'Hare, and then if it didn't have Bucky O'Hare, there's another awesome arcade beat 'em up game from You Sell a Cab. I know, Alan, probably not. I do have an overflow area now. I'm very excited about the overflow area. But if the Konami cab was a beat 'em up powerhouse, there's also another game called Violent Storm, and I was like, oh, those would be perfect games. But according to Justin and Ralph over on the like a hookup, exactly. But according to Justin and Ralph over on the 1UP Weekly, this is actually going to have mostly Simpsons games, and I didn't know of any other Simpsons arcade games. Like, apparently there's a Simpsons Tapper, which is a mod of Tapper with Simpsons characters in there. Is your cat is stuck in the printer? No. I'm sorry, Zohar. Our cat food dish is actually right over there next to the printer, so that's the only reason. Metamorphic Force, yes. Contra, Moo Mesa, Bucky O'Hare. I think if they do a Contra cab, they might do Contra as a separate cab. I think we saw a leak a way back where Konami Legacy Cabinet, Turtles, Simpsons, X-Men, Moo Mesa. I don't know if we'll get that. See, the problem with that Zero Hero is all the different licenses. This is where they get into licenses have to play, even though they're all Konami games. I mean, Turtles doesn't have Konami on it once because that's Nickelodeon now. You don't go to Konami to get access to Turtles. You go to Nickelodeon. And X-Men is Disney, so I think it'll be tough. That's why on the X-Men cab, we mostly have Marvel license. They went to Data East and got Captain America and the Avengers instead of putting other Konami beat-em-ups on it. So maybe it's tough. Actually, my cats, this is where my cats in my office actually have their food dish and their litters that are hidden for P-Dub's enjoyment. I used to chat in here sometimes, and it used to freak them out that the litters were there in the background. So, one of the reasons I want to move to the overflow space, I was going to have my Legends pinball up here next to my new computer, my Legends Ultimate cab, but the thing is the cats, they're always jumping on this stuff, and I know that's the reason why. I don't want my cats jumping on my screen for my Legends pinball, so I had to come up with a different idea. No, the cat does not need a bed on my Attack from Mars. My Attack from Mars is for playing. Sling Konami, anything would be sick. It was a very smart move from 1UP. 1UP's already done a Konami cab. The 1UP did Frogger. And Frogger, there's a Frogger available here too. I almost bought Frogger earlier this week. I was into the brick. They have Frogger on clearance. We don't have the good clearance prices like Ontario does. So instead of $4.98, it was actually $5.38. So it was a little bit more expensive, but they have one in store. Thoughts on seeing the Sega Spider-Man arcade game? Oh, I would love to see Sega Spider-Man Sling Spade. I'll come back to that. I just want to go to the Frogger story. So the Frogger cabinet looks great. I played it. I think it's pretty good. Someone mentioned to me that there might be some screen filter on it, and now that's got me completely paranoid. I know it doesn't have the right music, doesn't have the right art, but yeah, there's something about it. So I almost bought Frogger. Going back to Sega Spider-Man, I don't know if we'll get Sega Spider-Man, because if they do Sega Spider-Man, what else do you put on that cabinet? That's the tough one. So if we were going to see Sega Spider-Man, maybe it would have been on something like X-Men already. Would you visit Montana sometime? I would love to visit Montana. Absolutely. Frogger. Forget doesn't count. Frogger sucks. Frogger doesn't suck. I know... I don't know what the deal is with Frogger and Arcade1Up. I don't know why they had to do that. I think it was a Konami thing. Konami, if you look at every chipping in to buy them all, thank you so much, Coxer Russ. Yeah, I'm going to have to get Big Buck Hunter tomorrow. Moonwalker. Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, though, I think Moonwalker is a vertical game. I'd have to go back and take a look at it. I know it's isometric, the Moonwalker arcade game, I think. Oh, man, it's been a while since I played. I don't know what happened, but if you look at every single version of Frogger that comes out in the mini, it's got that new art. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what they did. There's some kind of licensing issue with the art, and I don't think they like the original art. The original art is kind of plain, and I think Frogger, there's some kind of tie-in with Sega. I don't know the whole story behind it, but if they had released Frogger with the original art, no, not vertical. Okay, thank you. Well, maybe if they had released Frogger with the original art and with the right music, no doubt, I 100% would have picked up this Frogger. But it's the different art, the different music, and the possibility of this filter drives me nuts. Also, I played Time Pilot and Time Pilot 84, and I fell in love with Time Pilot. Like, Time Pilot is such a fun game. Like, the guy was there, he was like, oh, yeah, we've been trying for months. No one's going to beat the high score on that. I beat the high score the first time I played. First score, and like the guy was like, oh, well, you got to buy the cab now. And then I called my wife, and she got really mad at me, so I didn't buy the cab. I will buy you a round ticket to Boot Mountain. Dude, the world needs Tron. I agree with that. I would love to see a Tron cab. Like, It's not so much for playing Tron. Like, I know there's fans out there, but just Tron is such a beautiful cabinet, man. If they made a Tron Discitron cabinet, I would buy it just for the artwork in my arcade. It's amazing. If they did it right with the beautiful background, like, oh, love it. Yes, Jeff Rainwater, I did explain. I came up with this stupid idea that I had 2 other rooms in my house that I was going to move my arcade to, and I had this great idea about having this multi-room arcade layout, and I had to move everything out, including this giant gym equipment, and move it into my arcade and move the cabs out. It was this crazy thank you so much, B. Have a good night, man. And I had to move everything, and then when I got it moved, I measured, and, everything looked good. The measurements all looked good. Everything should have worked. But when you actually had it in play and started moving the cabs around, I was like, it's not going to work. It's not comfortable. It's not going to work. So then I went up, I admitted to my wife, she was right. She actually took a video of me telling her she was right. So that's fun. I'll have that for the rest of my life. And then I decided to move everything back. But it allowed me, in the room that I was going to move my cabs to when I move everything back now, which is a storage room, I'm going to be able to leave half it open for an overflow room where I can put like my multicades and other stuff there. So that's going to be really cool. And I can still move this stuff downstairs again. So I'm excited. I'll have a second partial arcade room, overflow room, and then I'll still have my long arcade. Turns out I had it right from the start. I did, but there is still some good from it. There's never a totally bad thing. Like, I could have freaked out when this didn't work because it was so much work to get this moved. But there's a lot of positives to it. I got my basement cleared out enough that I can do a lot of this. Frogger's in my top 5 cabs to play, even with the changes. Steve really is pushing me hard on Frogger, and I look at it and I'm like, there's something about it. Should I buy the MVC cab or wait for MVC2? If you can get the MVC cab now, I advise you to do it. I don't think we're going to get MVC2 for quite some time. AtGames has announced a partnership with Taito to deliver pinball tables. There are a ton of Taito tables in existence. Do you think we're going to get rehashes or new tables? We are getting new tables from what I understand, Meatball Saucy. So I don't know 100%, but they talked about it. They talked about taking some of their existing arcade licenses, kind of like Operation Wolf. And I don't know if this is out there yet, so I'll go there. But from what I understand, it's taking some of their existence licenses, Taito licenses, and making new tables. That's what I think. I can't say for sure. I didn't even know there were existing Taito pinball tables out there. Yeah, my wife lets me know how much I spend all the time too, Stephen Swanson. It's interesting. Yes, I have heard about the MVSX, and Zohar asked me about it a little while ago. Zohar, I haven't bought it yet. It's still in my checkout with Canada Computers. I'm still on the fence. I know I shouldn't be on the fence, but I'm still on the fence. WKRP in Cincinnati brings up a good point. Frogger is iconic. Big Buck, not so much. I know. Hey, My Retro Life, Tyler. Guys, everybody, go check out Tyler. I've said this every time he's come on here. I'm a huge fan of his stuff. You've probably seen Tyler in so many things. Was it Xbox just did a big post on you and talked about the YouTuber that wasn't, I can't remember if it was Xbox or not, Tyler, but they did a post about your opening day with the Xbox there a little while ago. Yeah, and I know you posted your post that you're not going to be streaming on YouTube anymore. I'm going to fight the power. I'm going to stream even more on YouTube. When do we get that pizza pinball on AtGames Pinball? I don't know, Jester. I don't have an answer on that. I know it's coming. It should be soon, and it looks really good, too. Top Hunter. Oh, you don't... Zohar, you don't have to do that. Daryl, looks better than Arcade1Up. Yeah, Pure Xbox did an article. There it is. Yeah, so anyways, go check out Tyler's stuff. I've said it a bunch of times if you haven't seen it already. My Retro Life on YouTube, and Tyler has all this home video footage of him and his dad and them collecting all over the years and the excitement they shared of getting all these games and what a collection they had and what experiences they shared together. It's amazing. MVSX is great, just needs new buttons and sticks. High-low is fantastic. Third floor arcade. I know, that's what I'm looking at. Garage Gamer brings up another one. Revolution X would be amazing. Yeah, I think if they did Terminator 2, having Revolution X, because that's the unofficial sequel, would be turnaround. My Retro Life, yeah, and I watched the video from Top Hat Gaming Man earlier this week too. Yeah, so I hope it works for you, but I have never noticed a difference with my video numbers, depending on if I was streaming or not. I did notice that when I started streaming, like just recently this past summer, when I started doing Super Game Room Dudes and streaming it on my channel, I noticed my videos dropped a little bit, but whatever, I'll overcome. I think that I enjoy doing this live streaming stuff and doing Super Game Room Dudes way too much to worry about how it affects my videos' reach. But I'm doing things for different reasons too, right? I want a more fun gun game release. Yeah, I mean, I get why they did Big Buck Hunter. I talked about it. Big Buck Hunter is the iconic bar game. Everybody has Big Buck Hunter in a bar. Like, you remember going to wing joints, pool halls. Everybody had Big Buck Hunter because it's a great bar game. So there's a lot of people out there with basement bars that probably there's only two Arcade1Ups they'll ever buy. Golden Tee and Big Buck Hunter. Michael B, get the MVSX and Hilo X, and I'm sure Cool Toy will give you the ROMs. Actually, for the MVSX, everybody contact P-Dubs directly on Facebook, because I was told P-Dubs wants people contacting him directly on Facebook asking for the Hilo X ROMs. Someone did it to him the other day. Oh no, I didn't say it hasn't been affected, but you know. Oh, I love a lot of the Neo Geo games, and like I said, for like a multicade, I mean, there is no better arcade multicade that I would add to my collection that makes more sense than the Neo Geo, because I mean, the Neo Geo, you'd get a 4-slot, 6-slot, there'd be different games in it every time, and you could constantly change the games, and that's what you saw in the arcade, so it looks perfect. Yeah, I have an IR Arcade, and I will agree, IR Arcade is a very, very fun cab to own. Space Ace is coming out this week. Conte says MVSX is too small. P-Dub said this in his review as well. Same line of sight issue that he was experiencing with the legacy cabs. Carl, have a good night, man. I know it's late here. It's 12:33 here too, brother. Mark L, see, this is what I'm thinking about. Like, I have to make up my mind before it goes up in price, because if it goes up in price $50, I know for a fact I'm never going to buy Big Buck Hunter, so I'm thinking about it. We'll see where I lay tomorrow. After I get my arcade put back together and consider where everything's going to be, we'll see. But, I know that there's probably 3 to 4 more games I will look, and I'm probably going to get the MVSX. That is true, Zohar. Yeah, so I want ROMs. Where do you get them? You go, Camo, it's so nice to see you, Camo. You go, depends on what you want the ROMs for. If you're just looking for regular ROMs, you go to Cool Toy, you email his personal email. If you want high-low stuff, you've got to contact P-Dubs over Facebook. Music on Big Buck Hunter is the best. Kong says I should get Big Buck Hunter. Cool Toy did a really good review of Big Buck Hunter as well. Camo's the ROM king. Ooh, Operation Wolf, Operation Thunderbolt, and T2 on one cab. That would be very, very, very cool. There's also a Rambo gun arcade game, is there not? Like, I've got a Rambo game on my At Games Legends Ultimate that, is a backup of the real arcade cabinet I have somewhere that you can play with a trackball. So is that a gun game as well? If you have no attachment to Big Buck, pass on it. I'm getting back and forth on this. You guys know how wishy-washy I am with this stuff. No, I wish I could. There's a problem, because if I could just knock out walls, I would. But right next to the wall that most of you guys see all the time on the, left of me here, in my arcade is a bathroom. So I can't knock out that wall because in the bathroom, Rambo 3, it's pretty awful. Oh, so I can't knock that wall out. And then on the other side, I can't knock out the wall because that's just outside. Jester Tester! My wife has been playing Big Buck Hunter a lot. It's making me nervous how much she is liking to shoot things. Thank you so much for the super chat, Jester Tester, and thanks for popping that in. I watched a bunch of your Star Wars pinball review before I bought mine, just in case I haven't told you before. Ton of great gun games, but I'm a bit partial to Police Trainer. There was one at a sandwich shop near my house. I've never seen Police Trainer. That's yeah. I keep buying these things, trying to get my wife to play something. She played Centipede a little bit. I thought Miss Pac-Man was going to be the game. I thought Pac-Man was going to be the game. And she goes, plays for a little bit, and she's like, can I go back upstairs now? And then she was like, maybe when you get pinball. So then I bought all the pinballs and still can't get her downstairs. So maybe outhouses are all the rage. That comment's awesome, Keith H. Oh, my. Buy it, play it. If you don't like it, flip it. I'm sure if you sign it, it will be like a collector's item. I know, Sam Newsman, I don't know about a collector's item, but I think I should be able to sell it pretty easily if I did. If I had to get rid of everything but one arcade, Legends Ultimate would win, Dylan. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I was out of space, like, I had a bunch of people comment on my pictures that I put up on Facebook and YouTube talking about how my arcade was out of space, and they were like, oh, just get, like, a good, dedicated, multicade. And I was like, I don't really want to get a multicade. I have the X Games Legends Ultimate, and I love that, but that's not what I'm doing. I mean, I love the Legends Ultimate, and I play it all the time, but I also like having an arcade with all these classic-looking arcades there. I've had this conversation so many times over Facebook and YouTube over the years, like when the NES Classic came out, and I was like, oh man, I wish I could get an NES Classic. It sucks that they're so hard to get, and then people were like, oh my god, like, just get a Raspberry Pi. Like, what do you want the NES Classic for anyways? And I was like, because I want it. Is II Arcade expensive to own? II Arcade is expensive to buy initially, and then if you want to add games to it, there's an online store that you have to go and then add the games. Is it expensive to own? I don't know. I mean, like, you got to take a look at it and make sure the value is there for you, that there's enough games that you want. But in terms of the quality of the build and the quality of the product, it's second to none. Like, it is awesome. The II Arcade is fantastic. Will there be a Legacy Miss Pac-Man? I don't think there'll be a Legacy Miss Pac-Man. Yeah, Brad O'Connell brings up a really good point. Like, I got a feeling at some point I'm going to buy another Arcade1Up pinball too, because eventually they're going to come out with at least a second Williams pinball, and probably they're going to come out with that Universal cab at some point. My pizza came. Thanks for keeping me company. Zohar, have a good night. Enjoy your pizza, brother. It is 12:38 a.m. here, so no pizza for me. At Games Legends Ultimate, At Games Legends Ultimate Mini, and Legends Pinball, you can really be dumb. But I agree, I like having more because I have a sickness. Fair is fair. That's right. My wife actually is gaming right now. If you guys follow me on social media, last Friday, we were sitting down and I just went through Game Pass to see the new games because I heard that Octopath Traveler was there. And I came across Jurassic World Evolution. My wife loves Jurassic Park, so I read a little bit about it. And it seemed to be kind of like Animal Crossing. It's a park builder. So I downloaded it, and I said, here, give it a try. That was Friday, around supper time here, dinner time, 5 o'clock. And, oh, thank you so much, Markel. I really appreciate it. Anyways, 5 o'clock, I downloaded the game for her. She started playing. She has not stopped since. Like, she wakes me up in the morning, and she's like, can you turn on your Xbox for me? And then we'll play the entire day. It's crazy. So anyway, she's like, yeah, I'm going to have this finished in a couple days. Like a park builder. Hope they do the Bally license tables. Yeah, I would like to see that too. I also want to know who's going to get the Stern license. That's going to be huge. Stern and Jersey Jack, because they've got some amazing tables as well that I'd love to see. Sling Spade. See, this is the overflow room. Now, that's the good thing about what I did today, because I've created an overflow room where I can move stuff out that I'm going to play multicade stuff that the art doesn't match up with what I'm doing. So, yeah. Yeah, I know. A lot of people are leaving now. Do you think you'll get a Toy Shock? I know for a fact I'm going to get a Toy Shock. 100%. Perry, my fellow Newfoundlander, how you doing, brother? A lot of people are backing out. Jersey Jack virtual pin, multi-pin. We need this. That would be amazing, right? Anyways, guys, I've been going a long time now. I don't mean to take up too much of your time. I usually try to keep it an hour, and we've long since forgot our topics. So I just want to say thank you again, everybody, for coming and hanging out with me tonight. This has been great. This has been so much fun getting to talk to you guys directly. I get carried away, and I could sit here reading comments and just talking to you all the same. Scott Gray, I know you took your Ambien, so you're probably tired. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me again tonight. I really appreciate it. We'll see you later this week. I've got my Star Wars Arcade1Up Pinball review coming out. I'll probably be doing another live stream gaming, probably more Link to the Past. And then we got Super Game Room Dudes on Friday night. So thanks, everybody, for joining me tonight. Have a good night. It's Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you next time.